Okay, I would like to call the meeting of the St. Louis County Board of Zoning Adjustment to order. The board members present today are Angelia Bills, Chair, Justin Randall, Vice Chair. The Department of Planning staff members are Debbie Nesbitt, Mel Wilson, and Gretchen Arnold. Also on the call is John Burford from the County Counselor's Office. First, I offered into the record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting, September 21st, 2022. The board hereby takes official notice of and admits into evidence on the record the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1003, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974, as amended, and Chapter 1004, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974, as amended. Next, I would like to call for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous BZA meeting of August 24th, 2022. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. This meeting is conducted as a teleconference and is recorded. The planning staff will read each request into the record and present technical advice to the board if needed. The petitioner will be unmuted, state their name, and make a brief presentation to the board, explaining the reason and hardship for their requested variance. The board will not consider financial hardships. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts. When the board is satisfied with the material presented, the chairperson will then ask if there is anyone in favor or opposition to the request. To do so, click the hand next to your name. If any comments were submitted, staff will read them into the record. Before a call for the vote, the petitioner may request a continuance in order to bring in additional documentation. The board may also request a continuance to gather additional information or for a visit to the site. Once comments have been heard, the chairperson will call for a vote at that time. The discussion has ended. No further discussion is permitted. The board will generally make a decision today. Since there are only 2 members at this time, if the board's vote is split 1-1, the request will be deemed denied. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use requested, or the variance will expire. The petitioner or any interested party has the right of appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. This must be done within 30 days of the decision. Paperwork indicating the board's decision will be mailed to the petitioners.
All right. 74-22, Bruce Exili is requesting an exception to allow the construction of a 50-foot by 64-foot pole barn, which will be more than half of the footprint of the home, larger than 1,000 square feet in size, and will be a second accessory structure on the property at 11440 Uphill Trail, as required by Section 4 of the R2 Residence District Regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. And then Bruce, give me 1 second here and I will unmute you. Bruce, you're unmuted and you can give your presentation.
Okay, I'd like to share my PowerPoint. The one that you looked at is a little out of date, but so I'm gonna hit the share button. And how's everybody? There you go. Can you see my presentation?
So let me make you a panelist, and then I should be able to give you sharing rights.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right.
All right.
So can you see my desktop?
Right now, no. So on your end, you should be able to see a down at the bottom of like your image, there's a share button.
Yes, I hit the share. Okay. And let's see, screen 1. Share. Okay. How are we done?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, we're good. We can see it now.
Okay, great. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Bruce Exley, and I live at 11440 Uphill Trail. And as you know, I'm applying for a variance today to build a pole barn bigger than 1,000 square feet. I purchased this property in 1987, and me and my neighbor subdivided it. It was R2 zoning. However, we wanted to keep the country feel that we definitely have out in this area. It's very unusual for St. Louis County, at least in the residential areas. I have over 10 contiguous acres. I have this 7-acre lot, which is in question, and then a 3-acre adjoining lot. As far as the building itself, I have large margins for the easements and the building lines. There is a paved driveway. As you this picture coming up, the building will actually be to the left in this picture. It's really unique up here. We have a rural type of atmosphere, and you can do all kinds of neat things that you would do in the country. And I have shown my neighbors my permit application with the plans, and all of them have signed a proclamation saying that they approve. And it's, are you still there?
Yes.
Hello? Okay, my screen blanked. The site plan that was turned in highlighted a couple areas. The blues are the building lines and easement lines, and you can see from the orange building here where the arrow says proposed pole barn, that's the planned site at this time. There is a long driveway that goes all the way to the left to this big blue line and down to Coal Bank Road. The pole barn itself, it's nestled into the wood line. It cannot be seen from the county road, and also cannot be seen from any residential building of any of my neighbors. The purpose of this is to clean up the site. I have a lot of equipment that is in the woods and it's getting dilapidated. I have to constantly maintain it. Plus I have recreational equipment I need to store in there. So next I have some site photographs. If you look at the blue arrows on the right, they correspond to the pictures on the left. Looking west down the drive, that would be the arrow right in front of the orange square. That'd be looking towards my neighbor to my west. The looking down the east side of the drive, that would be looking towards my neighbor to the east. And looking north, this is the view that you would see from the main residence. The pole barn, well, actually, if you look in the middle picture to the left, you can see several trailers up there in the woods. That is approximately where the pole barn will be. It's actually slightly to the east of there. And if you look at the bottom picture where the flagpole is, it'll be right about the edge of the flagpole, a little to the left. The building floor plan that has turned into the county, as you can see, is 64 by 50. The elevations that are also required for this petition are shown. These also came right off of the permit application. Got the south, you have 3 16-foot doors, and on the west, you have a 16-foot tall door for an RV. The north, there is no access or windows. In the east, there is no access or windows. Hopefully this picture gives everyone a view and a sense of what's going on in this area. As you can see, it's not densely populated. As spoken before, we did not want the R2 density of the house over 15,000 square feet. We made it on purpose that we would keep the country feel, and we did not want any developments around here, nor did our neighbors. And as you can see in the yellow circles, we have pole barns that have been constructed all around us. The one to the bottom right was actually constructed about 4 years ago. The one on top's been around for a while. The one on the left was probably put in about 8 or 10 years ago. It's common. Everyone around here has large gardens and property to take care of. If you look at the 4 or the 3 arrows, my adjacent neighbors have all consented. They have signed the proclamation, which I'll show you in a minute. You probably have already viewed it. And they are all for having my building built. And what this will do is it will get all this large equipment into a sheltered area. It will clean up the wood line. And up here, we're all close neighbors and we share stuff. And if somebody needs something, we, more than likely always have it to lend. Next, here's the proclamation showing the 3 adjacent neighbors with both the wife and the husbands signing it, where they agree and approve the waiver that I've requested for this size barn. They've all had an opportunity to look at my permit application with all the building stuff on my laptop.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Mhm.
There's 2 trustees to the subdivision. I'm one of them, one of the original ones, and still Bill Miller down here. He is the latest new member. He's been here probably for 10 years. This is just some pictures and some justification showing the types of things and the reasons why I need this pole barn to get this equipment out of the woods and get it built back up. I have trailers, a farm wagon, a covered trailer, an open trailer. I have recreation equipment that needs to go on here, an RV that I'm getting. I have a Jeep. I have some ATVs. I have a lot of seasonal equipment, for summertime. And I have a big Halloween party every year. I put out like 40 bales of straw for everyone to sit on. And I'm a woodworker, and I do collect some lumber. This is just a picture of the different array of equipment that I have. I've pulled these implements out and lined them up, and this is short a couple of pieces, but as you can see, these implements are large and they go onto the tractors. As you can see, the tractor's above, and a couple of the implements that are still sitting in the woods. These are the 3 main trailers that I have at this time. I have this farm wagon that I'm going to rebuild for pumpkin parties, for like hay rides. And I have this enclosed trailer, and I have this open trailer. And as you can see in the bottom picture, that's some of the straw that we pull out yearly for our events. Recreational storage, I have many things that I have not listed, but these are just the things that are sitting around all the time. I have a large canoe, some wagons. I've got smoker and a fire pit and grills. They all need to go into this building. The RVs themselves can be up to 40 foot long. I've got a couple of ATVs, and here's my Jeep for my retirement project, one of them. There's some question on why I needed another garage because I had another building because I have a garage. So I added this picture from your original package, just showing, and I haven't moved anything around or done anything different here. The bottom picture on your left bottom is the main door. There's an 18-foot door there, and that shows bay 2 and 3. And you can see it's somewhat limited space already as far as trying to get 2 vehicles in there, much less the 3 that we own. Bay 4 view has a lot of the seasonal equipment all stored behind that big toolbox, along with other things that we have collected. On the right, you can see bottom right, Bay 1 view. Right at this point, I got my tractor. You can see a kayak hanging over top of it. There's a shelf with a bunch of lumber. There's a big ice machine over there and a freezer in the corner, and they all protrude out into Bay 1. So Bay 1 and Bay 4 are completely unusable for vehicles, and Bay 2 and 3 are already been encroached. So in summary, I like to get the point across that we did not choose to use the full zoning R2 that was originally and still is zoned, but this is not like most residential areas where you have, very populated, dense lots when you would put a big building around would actually maybe devalue the property around you. But this particular one would be nothing but positive for the neighborhood. It would also help me get my stuff out of the weather, and I can take care of it better. We're trying to maintain the rural feel. It fits right into the neighborhood. The garage I was talking about was built in the 96, 97 era.
Mhm.
The building,
Mhm.
yes.
I just have a question for you. The outer street, Cold Bank Road, is it paved or is it gravel over there?
Oh, no, it's definitely paved.
Okay.
It's a regular county road. And
Okay.
actually, the part of the equipment that you see, I actually have to get out there and clear the road itself because there's a steep hill coming down to the front of mine. And Debbie may be able to jump in here because she went out there to look at it. And I have to keep that clean because when the snow and ice comes, we can't really wait for the county. And a lot of times I get out there with my equipment to move the stuff out. And to help keep maintaining that, I need to take care of my stuff.
Yes,
Um,
I'm familiar with the area, so I know it's a lot of farmland and things around there.
Absolutely, and we love it.
Yeah,
We
it's
like,
nice.
we like to keep it that way. So in summary, I am looking for the BCA to give me a variance to allow me to build the building as shown in the permit that is listed above or below. And I'd be glad and eager to answer any questions in support of, me getting this variance. So are there any questions that I can answer?
That's mine. Justin, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any, thank you.
You. Is there anyone here for or against?
Okay, it does look like we have a hand, so give me 1 second here. I am going to mute Bruce and not make him the presenter anymore. And then Aaron, I will unmute you here in just a second. All right, Aaron, you are able to speak about the petition.
Okay. I'm one of the neighbors at 900 Cold Bank, and I would absolutely be in favor of the pole barn. And he'd mentioned, having the hay bales and things. We do like a Halloween party over at his place every year, and I actually store most of those on my property because he has no place to keep it all year round. And I'm starting to come into, a situation where I'm having problem fitting everything I need to in my own barn, trying to help Bruce out. So him being able to build this building would free up some of my space that I've got no problem doing it, but it's something that's going to benefit me directly. So I'm absolutely in favor of it. And from my house, I wouldn't be able to see it from any point of my own residence. Going to be buried in the trees. I mean, it's not even something that I'd even see unless I went and tried to go look for it. So that's all I had to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty. I don't see any other hands.
Okay. 74, is that correct? 74 dash.
74.
74-22. I vote to approve the variance as advertised. Even though it's R2 residential zoning, it really looks like farmland out there. And I just think the hardship is just the need to store the equipment throughout the year. So I vote to approve the variance.
Second it.
All right. 75-22. Willie Stevens is requesting an exception to the front yard regulations for the purpose of maintaining an existing residence and constructing decks, stairs, and a screen porch at 10715 Oak Avenue, maintaining a front yard of 15 feet in lieu of 25 feet, as required by the R2 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. And then give me 1 second here. All right, Willie, you are unmuted to give your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a redo of another, the variance that I got. It was 15-22. And due to things, life, whatever, I wasn't able to complete the project. So now we're, what it is that my house has not moved. The road hasn't moved. What happened was I lifted the house up and had to, well, because I had to fix my basement. It was falling apart. And so I lifted it up. And when I lifted it up, I had to take all the porches and deck off. So now that it's down, I need to replace them. And so Amber said I had to have this the second variance meeting, attend it, and that's what I'm doing. Nothing has really changed, except I think they made a the detail of the I have a ramp up to the west side porch now, and before it was kind of showing as steps. I don't want to have steps. My wife fell down some steps right there, and to be safe, I want to put a ramp in there. Let me see what else. Really, the 15 the 15 feet hasn't changed at all. I guess the house was built a long time ago, and that's where it was. And I think Jeff, my next door neighbor across the street, is going to talk about that house didn't move anywhere. It was kind of the street that moved. So it's just a little house. It will be nice. I don't know. I don't know what else to, if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. But that's about all I have.
I have a question. So you said you're not going to do stairs in front of the house anymore? So are you? What
Yeah,
are you gonna...
you see these little. There's a ramp that goes. It doesn't go farther than the edge of the house, but the ramp. It's on the west side of the porch and the deck. It's on the west side, and it's long and very, very shallow and everything. So, and the Ryan in the other department, he gave us all the requirements and stuff, and that's it. It's because I want my wife safe. Okay, she fell down some stairs because it gets a little bit nasty.
Okay.
It was slippery that night, and she fell and she hurt herself. And now she has an appliance inside of her neck, and I don't want her falling down anymore.
Gretchen, can you bring up the site plan of the property?
Yeah.
There you go. See that way you could see the side ramp instead of the steps.
Okay, okay.
So it doesn't go any further than the edge of the house. It doesn't really, it does. I don't know. I don't think it is a eyesore or anything else. It's just a different way of getting into the house.
Okay,
I don't have any questions.
okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
So I do believe we had a call-in user who wanted to speak on this, so let me unmute them real quick. They're on the phone, so they can't raise their hand, I believe.
Okay.
All right. Yep, you're unmuted.
Okay. My name is Jeffrey Taylor. I live across the street from Willie Stevens at 10714 Oak Avenue. The street runs from east to west. Well, actually, it's a one-way. It runs west to east. And the porch he wants to put on is on the side of the house that runs north to south. So it's on the west side of the house, but it's not on the road side of the house. There was a chimney he took down, which actually added probably a foot to 2 feet from the road for the house setback from the road. The actually house was there before the road. That's the whole thing. So it used to be a gravel road when that was built. Anything else I would like to I'll take questions.
Okay, so are you in favor or opposition to the proposed?
Totally in favor.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Too sweet.
Mhm. Okay,
Alrighty, so I have everybody muted now, and I'm not seeing any other hands.
Case of 75-22, based on the existing structure being as close as it is to the road and the ramps setting further back than the existing structure, I recommend approval of the petition.
I second it.
All right, 76-22, Caitlin McGrath is requesting an exception to the front and side yard regulations for the purpose of replacing an existing deck and stairs at 9292 Fayette Avenue, maintaining a front yard of 10 feet in lieu of 20 feet from Niles Place, and a side yard of 5 feet in lieu of 6 feet as required by the R5 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. And Caitlin, you are unmuted to present.
Thanks. I also have my contractor on the phone, Travis, who may be able to touch on it more. But essentially, yes, it's to replace an existing deck that is currently there. And it's become dilapidated. I believe the previous owner built it himself. And the stairs have become, the wood is not good. So I'm on this corner lot, and you can see where the deck is in the back is closer to Niles Place than the normal ordinance allows. So this would be a request just to replace the current deck, the same size deck, and the only change would be changing the direction of the stairs that come down, but it wouldn't necessarily be adding more square footage or anything into the street. So really just because of the awkward shape of my lot, I'm just requesting this. I don't know if Travis, if you can unmute him, if he can also chime in. And there's a photo of the deck in question.
Travis, you're unmuted.
Okay. While
I'm
he's,
not getting anything from,
Mhm. While he's preparing to speak, just a question, and I think you've already answered this, but basically your new deck is going in the exact same spot, right?
Yes, it would just be the stairs in the photos that are coming straight down. They're actually going to be coming out a little on a platform and then turning off and going down towards the right, pretty much where the dog is now, so that it's not going right into the patio. Yes, but it's the same square footage for the main deck part there.
And I apologize, I had my phone on mute.
oh, you're good.
So yeah, just to add what she's saying is, you know, we're not building the deck any bigger than it was, and she has to have a back porch to get out of her house. You know what I mean? And like I said, like she said, we're not making the footprint any larger. The only thing that we're doing a little different is we added a little landing to turn the steps to go down parallel with the deck instead of the steps coming straight off the back towards the very back corner of our lot.
Justin, do you have any questions?
I mean, that's a pretty odd shaped lot, to shoehorn a house on there, so.
I agree. Okay, is there anyone in favor or opposition?
I don't see anybody. So at this time, I'm going to mute the petitioner and her contractor. All right, you're all good.
Okay, hearing none, 76-22, I vote to approve the variance as advertised, and the hardship just being that the need to upgrade the deck.
And I think you could add easily the unusual shaped lot to that as well. So I second it.
Alrighty. 77-22 Cyberg Restaurant is requesting an exception to the front yard regulations for the purpose of providing a new canopy at 7800 and 7806 Gravois Road, maintaining a front yard of 2 feet in lieu of 15 feet along Gravois, and a front yard of 8 feet in lieu of 15 feet along Oldenburg Avenue as required by the C2 Shopping District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. And Rob, give me 1 second here. Rob, you're unmuted and you can present.
Okay, thank you. So currently Cyberg's has a big canopy off to the west side that is detached from the building. And they also have a front door canopy that comes out, and I'm not even sure exactly, but it's about the same projection out away from the wall as the proposed canopy. But what we're looking to do is basically, like you see in that picture, is wrap that canopy around the building and connect it to the existing canopy. And, you know, a couple reasons why we want to go that route is, you know, for one, keep people safe, keep them out of the rain. For employees that are, you know, bringing out food, currently they're walking out the door and have to walk through, you know, if it's raining, you can still use that detached canopy, but you know they're bringing food out while it's raining, and you know that just kind of can turn into a mess. And we think this will really help that, and you know, for rain, snow, just keeping the patrons more safe. And uh, I know Jim's here, and I don't know if he's got anything else to say as he sees it more on a daily basis. But a few other things currently. It's a you know, all the awnings that they have now are vinyl material, and we're looking to do a standing seam metal, which will be a more uh, uh, I guess more of a fixed long-term solution. And you know, it's not going to get tore up in bad weather, and really it'll add to the aesthetics of the building as they're looking to upgrade a lot of things out there and just kind of enhance the look of you know, the building and the surrounding area.
I can unmute Jim real quick so he can also, if he wants to add anything. Jim, you're unmuted if you wanted to add anything.
Yes, hi, I'm Jim with Cybergs. I'm the CFO. And exactly to add on with what he was saying, this is a 100-plus-year-old building. We want to give it a facelift. As you see the front of the building there, the canopy that we're putting on will cover over that entire strip there, which definitely needs some love. And as well as you can see, this is the handicap access that goes up here, and that's the only access of handicap into the building currently, and that would provide a safe cover for our handicapped and elderly guests getting in and out of the building. So as you can see this shot right here, about where that barrel canopy is going over the front would that's about the same depth as where it would carry it all the way out and connect to the existing awning on the backside.
Just have we seen this request before? I feel like this seems very familiar.
Yes, we have about a year or so ago to put the canopies over this over the front door. And I thought there was another one too. There was a couple canopies that were put up, but they're fairly recent.
On the back door as well.
Okay.
Okay. So is it the same request or is this a different request?
This is a different request. As you see, that barrel canopy there will be removed, and it will take one long canopy that'll run the length of the building.
Okay, gotcha.
From that barrel back to the corner closest to you in this picture, and then back over to the other awning and back. So that way the entire piece will be covered for walking, like I said, if it's in rain or bad weather, and that way anybody entering or exiting the building. Like I said, the back has stairs going down, and so the front is the only main level exit for elderly or handicapped guests.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Okay.
I do have one comment. Robin, you might be able to expand on this, but I think as you look at this picture right here up on the right, you can see the corner of the existing awning, and we have all the properties. There's 4 lots on that block, and we own that whole block. The building on the other end, which would be closest to us as we're sitting and looking at this picture, there was some question as to the distance between that building and the existing awning. So if there is any variance, can that be addressed at this time too? That if I believe it was mentioned 10 foot versus the 8.5 that it currently is. Is that right, Rob?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that was a question that came up with the architect and engineer, and he had mentioned, I guess, that he talked to somebody up there at the county that mentioned that 10 foot and yeah, my thing was the awning's already there. It already looked like it had been approved, in the past, obviously, and we're not really changing any footprint on that side of the property. That basically is going to stay right there. And I guess I was a little confused too with, the 15-foot setback. I kind of assumed we were talking, the whole canopy, wherever that 15-foot setback came into question. I didn't know if there were different, if we're just talking about the front or the side. So that was one thing I was kind of confused about when I heard that.
So are you talking about the 8.29 square there that at the corner of Oldenburg and Gravois? That's not part of the proposed canopy?
No, I think it would be on to the left of that picture where it's cut off.
Yes, there's a building. Sorry. Yeah, there's a building next to the that sets off from the canopy about 8.5 feet. Again, the Cybergs owns that property as well. And it was just recently, as of this morning, forwarded to me to know that someone else in the county brought that instance up, that I guess 10 foot's the code, and we're at 8.5 or 8.6 feet right now.
Okay, so in the rest, we're on the overall plan, it shows there's a proposed canopy behind the outdoor seating.
Correct.
That's on a different permit. That wouldn't be the canopy.
Yeah, I know, but from the end of that canopy to the property line, then that says 8.59. And in front of that says proposed bicycle parking.
Oh.
So I'm not sure where you're talking about.
So
I don't know that it's necessarily something we can deal with today. We don't have any of that information.
Yeah, I would need a new plan for that. You can continue it, and you could submit a new plan with it on there.
it's
Or
on it's on
new
our plan.
marking.
It's 8.59
And
feet.
it has
By
to be
nine,
re-advertised.
yeah,
Wouldn't it have to be re-advertised?
yeah, by
There's a change.
19.40,
Okay.
that square. I think you need to
Yeah,
continue it and get me a new plan then, so that I know exactly where the new canopy is going to go, what you're trying to add to it.
no, that is the proposed size. That right there, but we just weren't sure if we just heard earlier today that we had to be 10 feet over there, but I'm not sure if that was a part of this, variance with the
Well,
15-foot setback.
well,
Was
you're allowed 2 feet from Gravois along with the whole front where your plan shows the proposed canopy, and you're allowed it's considered a front yard along Oldenburg to 8 feet from Oldenburg
Okay.
for the beginning of the canopy. So there's 8 feet there that is not going to be covered.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So then you're okay then.
Well, I think he's got a different issue that's on this left-hand side of this plan, but
Correct.
we can't see it, and I don't see how we can make
So are you,
that I don't see how we can do that. So
No.
and
But if he wants to continue it,
yeah,
get me a new plan showing the additional canopy, then he can bring it, then we can add him back onto a different meeting,
yep,
and he wouldn't have to pay another fee.
yep.
And it would all be one package versus all these little piecemeal things.
Okay. And yeah, I don't know why it doesn't show the whole. Whoops. I don't know why it doesn't show that whole drawing there. I must have gotten cut off, or I'm not
Well,
sure.
on the screen here, because that's all I could get scanned. I'm looking at the whole plan that you submitted on the big paper.
Yeah.
So why don't we continue it and you get me the new plan?
And add whatever, if
Yeah.
there is a necessary variance for that other piece. I just don't see how we can, if he wants that evaluated, it's either continue it or you'll have to do a new variance.
re-advertised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we vote to continue this
Are
application?
you okay with continuing to the next meeting?
Yes.
Well, it won't be the next meeting
Oh,
because I won't have the plan in time. So it'll be the meeting of October 19th.
Jim and Rob, is that okay
Ye-
with you to continue to the 19th?
sure, can I ask one question real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So as it sits, removing the left piece out of it, we don't need a variance because we need 8 feet on the on the right side next to Oldenburg, and we're at 8.29, and then the front, we're at 2.45, and we only need 2. Is that correct?
No, it's 15 by code.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought, but when you said the 2 feet, I got confused with that. Okay, I apologize.
Nope, you're good. So we can either approve, I mean, we can evaluate this request, or if you want, we're open to continuing it to address an additional amendment if you want.
Rob, do you want to move forward with just this piece, or do you want to continue?
That's up to you, Jim. I don't want to make the call for you guys.
Well, since the other's existing, and maybe we can give further details on it, would you guys feel comfortable ruling on just this piece on the front and side right now?
Yeah, I do. I don't know about Angela.
Okay,
Okay, let's move that, and then we'll address the other side if need be. Thank you.
that's yours.
Okay, is it mine?
Yeah.
Based on the advertisement of 77-22, due to the need for ADA accessibility and getting that covered, I recommend the variance as advertised.
I second it.
Okay, and then Debbie, I did not see anybody from 7822 join.
Okay, yeah, Peter said too that you told, or I guess you told him that. So then we'll just roll it over till the 5th.
Okay.
They knew they were supposed to be on the meeting, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
So
right,
that's
that's all
it.
we have for you guys. Yep.
Hey, sorry I was a few minutes late, guys. I got stuck in a meeting, so I apologize.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you
All
on
right,
the
see you
12th.
guys.
Meeting's
Bye.
adjourned. Take care, guys.